Hey everyone, it's Jay here. Welcome to another stock video. We're going to take a look at BIOR running on absolute fumes here, rivaling a little bit on the HKD's recent run where HKD went up 199%. If we kind of have a look at BIOR, 155% intraday and another 38.89%. After I was going to look at this video here, just on the catalyst going for it, the technical analysis, and also what to look out for. So you don't want to miss it. Make sure you watch till the end. So let's have a look here. 55.6 million shares traded today, only an average of 888K normally, but running on FDA news here and on absolute fumes here. No signs of dumping or anything else like that after hours here, just continued momentum here. Sometimes you see therapeutic stocks tail off after the intraday run because what happens is if it's not the final FDA approval and they're not really getting that commercialization where they can actually bring in revenue or they have other drugs in their drug pipeline, then dilution ultimately does result, right? Because there's always the worry about cash burn. In this case, it looks like they're going to try to maintain a steady flow of cash burn. But when we look in their quarterly reports here and also in the 10K, we can kind of see the history for offerings. Again, this is something that's just naturally going to occur because you go for your clinical studies, phase 1, 2, 3, go for FDA approval, right? So for BIOR, it's still at very early stages here. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So first of all, we'll look at the price action. As you guys can see, absolute monstrous move, right? $2 here, running all the way up to about 938. There's mentions that HC Wainwright here maintains a buy target January 10th here on Zynga. Price adjusts to $65. The stock did recently have a reverse stock split completed here, 1/4/25, and that occurred just after the New Year's on January the 3rd. So if you remember the price being something different, and you're seeing here that it's over $8, pushing up to over $9, and you're wondering why, that's because of the reverse stock split. So we see lots of volume, and actually always a good sign to see volume increasing, especially into power hour, trying to finish towards the highs, and you can see it tipped off back towards the upper portion of the envelope here. So you can see earlier on it was resistance and now it became support. You got a doji over here and bam, straight to the upside here for $9. So very nice run altogether here for BIOR. Now let's take a look to see the reason why it did stop where it did in terms of this 926 level. If we kind of scale out, zoom out, it should relate to a previous meaningful level here on the chart. And we see it coming in here as there was a previous demand zone over here where it was making bottoms, but unfortunately lost that area just above $10 here. And you can see the stock continue to gap down and then made its way down as it got closer and closer until it did the reverse stock split. You can see right after the reverse stock split, it didn't really extend further like many are afraid of because dilution normally is not very good. But in this case, since they just did a reverse stock split, the fear of another offering or dilution are decreased, right? Because they literally just did one. So we'll see what happens here if the continuation does go and if it does get past this $10 heavy area here. Another heavy area would be up here at 1124, and you have a lot more clear skies once you get past this $14 area here, as there's some support to clean up there. And once you get past it, you can get back into this consolidation here up there around $15 to $17 level. So let's see what happens moving forward in the coming days. Now, in terms of the moving averages, we can see today it hit bang on onto the blue line here. 50-day moving average, a sea of red in terms of the stock flow, and then you can see all of a sudden, yeah, you get the squeeze going on here, and boom, right to the upside we go. So when we look at kind of the squeeze metrics, not a whole lot of shortable shares available, which is a good sign if you do want to see a squeeze, but the cost to borrow has not gone up yet, not saying it can't. So we'll see in the coming days if it does reach to the upside. It's good to keep in mind as well, BIOR does have options. So to me, it really feels like with all the open interests here and the volume coming through on the calls front, if this feels more like a gamma squeeze, right? So That's more options driven, people buying the calls, forcing the purchase of the stocks in this case, and seeing it go upside here, right? Similar to a GameStop. So let's see how the run continues, and also we're going to take a look to see why H.C. Wainwright might be adjusting price higher in this case, right? So some of the key aspects and the key catalyst here again is what FDA has provided here for BIOR. So again, their treatment is for UC. I'm not going to pronounce that. I'm probably going to butcher it. But basically for the IND filing. So, it's at the new drug phase just starting here, going followed by clinical trial initiation. So they're not even into the clinical studies yet. Keep in mind for PGN600 program, this is still in very early stages. So again, right, they're getting updates here from FDA to talk about the proposed clinical development plans and furthering the studies. So that's always, again, positive to see that moving forward. And they do give a timeline here for first half of 2023 with IND filing, followed by trial initiation in Q2. But as I mentioned, there is going to be, again, cash burn to run the operations, right, until ultimately goes for the approvals, and then you get to again the commercialization stage. So it is a process, but if you're just trading the stock for momentum for BIOR, then it's a good idea for short term to kind of pick up on the TA here to see what those key levels are, and then try to trade around it. As always for trading, right? Two basic rules: have a plan, follow the plan, right? Very easy said, but very hard to do. If you look back at a lot of the trading mistakes, right, you'll often see that one of the two was not followed. Either there was no plan, or there was a plan and it was not followed, right? So again, jumping in, always make sure you do have a trading plan ready and that you're able to execute it. And you got to make sure you do know where the key price levels are and kind of follow the price action along. And as always, when there's news and catalyst there, you got to also make sure that you're staying on top of it. But cash burn would be one of the main concerns here going into it. Again, for dilution front, literally just did a reverse stock split, right? So that's kind of already out of the way here. Now, when we do look at the most recent 10Q here, the annual one, not readily available yet, we do see there is in November 2021, year before, not even last year, this last year, 2022, right? So 2021 here, aggregate offering price of up to 90 million. One be concerned about that one is because this is going to be one of those ATM sale agreements, at market issuance sales agreements. But when we take a look at who it's with, you'll see B. Riley Securities, BTIG, and HC Wainwright. So we'll see if it's any meaning, because we do know that HC Wainwright literally adjusted the price target to 65. So let's see how high this goes. Always, again, be on the lookout for things like this, right? So hopefully it's not when the stock is going parabolic, always make sure you are de-risking yourself by taking some pieces out. And if you got 1,000 shares, you can always sell half and let that other half ride, or whichever suits your trading plan, right? You got to make sure that you are watching after the money, doing your DD and DYOR as well, and we'll see where this goes. As always, you can always follow and subscribe on the channel as well for more updates, and I'll be again looking at the stock here. All right, thanks again for watching. Have a good one. Cheers.